Who is the colored man? This question, in the teachings of the nation of gods and earths, is more than just a question about race or identity. It's about history, legacy, and understanding the forces that shape this world we live in today. The answer, the colored man, is the white man, or Yacub's grafted devil skunk of the planet Earth, is loaded with meaning that goes deep into our culture, our history, and the truth of how things came to be. To understand this, we start with the story of Yacub. According to our lessons, Yacub was a black scientist, a man with great knowledge and wisdom who lived over 6,000 years ago. Yacub understood the science of genetics and used his understanding to create a new type of human being. The story tells us he was determined, seeing it as a way to bring something different to the planet. Through a process of selective breeding, generation after generation, Yacub's methods eventually led to the creation of the white race, the grafted people. This grafting process meant removing certain characteristics, diluting traits from the original man, until the result was something altogether different. The term grafted isn't just about physical characteristics. It's about the mindset, the intention, and the actions that followed. Grafting in this context means creating something that was removed from its natural essence. The white race was seen as a deviation from the original, a branch taken from the tree and turned into something else. And in this teaching, grafted represents not just separation, but a loss of the original harmony, the spiritual connection that exists naturally within the original people. Now, why use terms like devil or skunk? Words like these are strong, but they're used with purpose. This is not about condemning individuals, but about pointing out the energy, the actions, and the behaviors that this grafting brought into the world. When we say devil, we're talking about a mindset, a way of being that opposes harmony, justice, and peace. The skunk here is symbolic of what disrupts balance, what goes against the natural order, and what brings discord to the planet Earth. It's a description of a way of life that has historically created systems of oppression, greed, and manipulation. So, when we say that the white man is the devil or the skunk of the planet Earth, we're talking about a force that has brought suffering, that has disrupted the natural way, and that has impacted the lives of people all over the world, especially the original people. This isn't about hatred, it's about truth-telling. It's about recognizing a pattern of behaviors that have led to the destruction of lands, cultures, and ways of life. Understanding this teaching means looking at history and acknowledging what has been done. It means examining systems like colonialism, where original people's lands were taken, resources were exploited, and spiritual ways were suppressed. It's about seeing the impact of slavery, which ripped people from their homelands, broke family structures, and tried to erase our identity. This is the legacy of the grafted man, the force that separated itself from harmony and then spread disharmony across the world. But this teaching doesn't just stop at pointing out what happened. It's also about giving us the power to rise above it. We, as the original people, are the foundation, the makers, and owners of this planet. We are the original man and woman, the ones with the divine connection, the natural harmony, and the wisdom of the universe flowing through us. By understanding the role of the colored man, we can reclaim our power, our unity, and our responsibility to be caretakers of the earth. See, this isn't just about history, it's about understanding where we stand today. These teachings give us the clarity to recognize the world's imbalance and to take steps to restore it. When we acknowledge the patterns of the past, we gain insight into the systems that still operate around us. Systems of economic exploitation, environmental destruction, and cultural erasure are all rooted in this grafted way of thinking, a way of thinking that seeks to control rather than live in harmony, to take rather than to build. As the nation of gods and earths, we understand that knowledge of self is the first step. Knowing who we are, knowing our power, and understanding our divine purpose is what allows us to rise above the conditions created by the grafted man. When we recognize these teachings, we no longer fall victim to the narrative imposed upon us. We reclaim our identity as the true and living gods of the earth, responsible for bringing light, truth, and peace back to this world. So, who is the colored man? He is a product of a process that diverged from the original. He is a part of history, but also a reminder of the consequences of losing connection to self and nature. And as we look at this world, we see both the challenges and the responsibilities laid out before us. Our responsibility is to live in truth, to honor our origins, and to restore balance in everything we do. This knowledge empowers us to break free from the systems that were built to suppress us. We don't need to fall into the ways of greed, control, or exploitation. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, the original people, who left us with the knowledge, the strength, and the legacy to reclaim what was always ours: peace, unity, and divinity. We are the makers and owners, the true and living, and we carry forward the wisdom of our ancestors. Who is the colored man? The answer is here for those with the eyes to see and the heart to understand. The colored man symbolizes the loss of original balance. But as the nation of gods and earths, we recognize this truth so that we can build a future where we all honor and live in alignment with the natural, the original, and the divine.